Hi, everybody. I'm Justin Suarez. I come from Santa Maria, California, where I currently reside, but I also grew up and lived in Milpitas, California. I'm part of the class of 2020, and I majored in International Development Studies, Asian American Studies, and a minor in Digital Humanities. For Asian American Studies, I believe at its core is to try to understand and critically think about everything in terms of history, in terms of politics, power dynamics, in regards to American society, in regards to the Asian American identity. I mean, I feel that this is something that's very unique, especially in the time we're going through right now, with the politicizing of the COVID-19 virus, with Black Lives Matter movement happening, and with the fight for affirmative action. I feel like Asian Americans would need to be informed and educated to the best of our ability, especially in the context and the nuances of American society. Okay. I say this with all my love because I really do enjoy and I love going to Asian American Studies classes, but I'm also very critical about the Asian American Studies major. And just because Asian Americans have a very interesting relationship between, or I guess within the Asian American Pacific Islander umbrella that's oftentimes used, especially because we don't really emphasize as much as we should Pacific Islander studies issues as well. Even Southeast Asian studies is still up and coming and not fully fleshed out and developed. So there's a lot of things that's still trying to be developed and trying to be uncovered with the Asian American Studies major. Also in regards to trying to make sure that we also understand what is happening within other ethnic and marginalized communities within American society, right? So how do we relate to the Black community? How do we relate to the Chicanx and Latinx community? How do we relate to the indigenous communities? And sometimes we do have to think about this, and that's why it's challenging, because it forces people to think about all these different nuances and how do we conceptualize what communities, like what community conditions are for various marginalized communities across the United States. I will say Greg Poncho will be your best friend. I actually wasn't declared Asian American Studies until a month after I graduated, and that was because I had to submit a double major petition. But Greg, being a new counselor, new advisor, we were stuck in the process of trying to declare my double major on his end, where it should have been petitions on my end. But we were able to have multiple meetings, and he was always on top of it. And I was able to meet up with him, try to sort out like what petitions I need to fill out, and if I filled them out appropriately, and then we'd send them in together. And he was there for every step of the way, making sure that I was on track. And if there was anything bad to happen, or if there was a complication, we would work it out together. With the COVID-19 virus, the job market has been seriously been much more competitive ever since unemployment rates have been skyrocketing. It's been a difficult time trying to apply for jobs. So I've been focusing on updating my LinkedIn profiles, updating my resumes, and also looking at cover letters for the various job opportunities that were coming across my way. I'm glad to say, though, that I just was offered an internship opportunity this morning with the Joe Biden campaign, and I'll be a coalitions intern. So one piece of advice I'd give for the Asian American Studies majors that are incoming, I would say, is since this major is very community-based, and because we are trying to give back to our communities by studying and learning about who we are, and then also the conditions that surround us externally, I would say please get involved with any of the community organizations, whether that be on campus or off campus. There's a lot of different opportunities for students at UCLA particularly, in order to be much more engaged and much more firsthand experience working on the ground. Because for me, that's what made my Asian American Studies experience that much more holistic, is by being able to learn the theory and learning the history in class, but also being able to apply that in my wide array of experiences on campus. And I feel like for those type of students, or especially for Asian American Studies students, we have the unique opportunity that we do have the organizations and the capacity in order to be engaged on both sides. So good luck, Bruins, and I'll see you later.